morning, students. Now we are going to discuss about solenoid. Yes, on the solenoid, magnetic field is produced. So that is magnetic field due to a long current carrying solenoid. Okay, and what is toroid and what is that applications of toroid, magnetic Lorentz force, this and all. Okay, yes. See the first one topic. Magnetic field due to a long current carrying solenoid. So we know that what is solenoid. Yes, what is solenoid? Solenoid is nothing but it is a long closed helical coil. This coil contains n number of turns, right? So this is basic thing. So when the current flow through the solenoid around the coil, what will produce? Magnetic field is produced. Yes. The same way here, magnetic field due to a long current carrying solenoid. If you are consider long solenoid, so the magnetic field produce. Okay. Now see this. Consider a solenoid of length L. Yes, and having n number of turns. The diameter of the solenoid is assumed too much smaller when compared to its length. Okay. So length is greater than diameter. Okay. The coil is wounded very closely. Yes, that means the number of turns is very high. That is, number of turns is very high. Therefore, there is a small gap between the each turns. Okay. Yes, see this. The magnetic field at the center of a solenoid. Yes, so this one, if you are considered a small, rectangle area in this solenoid. So these blue color lines are each turn. So this line is nothing but each turn. This is the entire length of the coil. So current entering in this side and flowing and finally leaving in this side. Okay. So magnetic field, we are going to find out the magnetic field, right? Okay, now come to this one. The first one, line integral B vector dl vector which is equal to mu naught into I naught. So this is from which one? Which law? From Ampere's circuit law. So BL is equal to mu into I in Ampere's circuit law. But here I naught. What is I naught? Net current through the solenoid. I naught is nothing but net current to the solenoid. Okay. So I'm taking this rectangle area. See the sides of this rectangle. We'll start from P to Q, Q to R, R to S, and S to P. So four sides PQ, QR, RS, and SP. Yes. The length of the sides, the length of this triangle is A, and the breadth we are taking B. Yes, but we are considering only the length. Okay, that is opposite sides. Come to this one. The line integral B into dl which is equal to, we are taking 4 integral. Why sir we are taking 4 integral? We are taking each side of the triangle, this particular area. Yes, so this SR outside the coil and PQ inside the coil. So these sides SR outside the coil and PQ is the inside the coil. Yes, at the same time, and PQ, QR, SP. Yes, so we are taking 4 sides. In that sides, we are calculating magnetic field based on the Ampere's circuit law. Okay, see the first one. The total magnetic field inside the solenoid, it's equal to sum of all the 4 sides. We are taking 4 sides now. So all the 4 sides of the solenoid. So that's why first one, line integral PQ, B into dl. So what is PQ? PQ is this area. So line integral PQ plus line integral QR. Line integral QR. So line integral QR B into dl. And third one, line integral RS B into dl plus line integral SP B into dl. So all the sides magnetic field is present, that's why we are taking all the sides and adding the all the sides, then only you can get the total magnetic field yes in the solenoid. Okay, based on Ampere's circuit law. Okay, now according to that yes law, B dl into cos 0, because cos component cos 0 degree, so cos 0 degree is plus second one b into dl qr, yes qr b into dl cos 90 degree. Why sir here 19? See this, if you are considering this area perpendicular to the coil, plane of the coil, that's why here 90 degree. Okay, and see the third one, zeros are here 0, see that line integral yes 0 into dl cos 0. So why here b is 0? Because see this sp sorry third one rs, the rs is this area is outside the solenoid, there is no magnetic field, that's why b is 0 here. Okay, and last one sp, so magnetic field is present perpendicular to the plane of the yes the solenoid, therefore b into dl cos 90. Please then first area pq inside the solenoid, that's why yes b into dl present and there is no angle, that's why cos value will be 0. But see the second one qr is perpendicular to the plane, that's why cos 90 degree. And rs, so this area is outside the solenoid, there is no magnetic field, that's why line integral b will be 0, yes 0 into dl cos 0 plus b dl into cos 90 degree. See the last one sp will be which one, perpendicular to the plane of the coil, that's why cos 90 degree. Yes, if you are substituting all the values, yes for example what is cos 0 1 and cos 90 0, and here 0 into yes cos 0 1, so 0 1 will be 0, and here also cos 90 will be 0. So what is remaining? So this first term alone remaining, that means magnetic field only present inside the coil. That's why see this, if you are taking this equation b into dl into 1, so b dl is remaining. Okay, from this one you are taking b outside and line integral dl, yes, which is equal to ba. So here dl, if you are integrating dl, you will get l, that l is equal to a. Yes, this is the length of this side, so a, so remaining what will get b into da, b into da. Okay, and we know that mu naught into I naught, which is equal to mu naught into what? Yes, NAI. How sir? Because it's very simple. Mu naught, yes, mu naught into I naught. Here see that BDL is equal to mu naught I naught, no. So we are comparing these two equations. So therefore BDL which is equal to mu naught into I naught. Therefore we are taking instead of SB, we are taking mu naught into NI. N is the number of turns, I is the current. Therefore, instead of that, you have to just substitute the value. Instead of that, what is remaining? B into A, no. So, you are substituting B into A. What will come? Mu naught is already there. Yes. So, mu naught instead of B, N, yes, this A and I. So N is number of turns per unit length, A is the length of the path, and I is the current passing through the lid of the solenoid. So finally from this equation we can get what? Mu naught NAI. So this is the magnetic field S at the center of the solenoid, right? Okay. So from S book content, the same one, see this. BDL is equal to first side, and see the second side, and see the third side, and this is the what? Final DA. Yes, so the elements along BC are perpendicular to the magnetic field. So that's why if that sides perpendicular to the magnetic field, we are taking which one? 90 degree. That will be 0. right? But if you are taking that outside the solenoid, see that magnetic field outside the solenoid, this final integral will be 0. The final integral will be 0. Okay, yes. So from the solenoid, yes, there is a small note. Solenoid can be used electromagnets. Uses of solenoid. Solenoids can be used as electromagnets. It produces strong magnetic field that can be turned on and or off. This is not possible in case of permanent magnet. Further, the strength of the magnetic field can be increased by keeping iron bar inside the solenoid. So this is because the magnetic field of the solenoid magnetizes the S iron bar, and hence the net magnetic field is sum of magnetic field of the solenoid and the magnetic field of the magnetized iron. So because of these properties, solenoids are useful in designing variety of electrical appliances. For if you go to that small circuit, the small magnet will be there. That is actually what solenoid. In that magnet contains a number of turns around it. Okay. So followed by solenoid. This is that example problem 3.19. Calculate the magnetic field inside the solenoid. Yes, calculate the magnetic field inside the solenoid. When there are three questions. The question is, the length of the solenoid becomes twice and fixed number of turns. The length of the solenoid becomes twice and fixed number of turns. This is the first one, right? And the second one is, both the length of the solenoid and the number of turns are double. Okay. And third question, the number of turns becomes twice for a fixed length of the solenoid. So you are comparing the result. Okay. So therefore solution, see that first one, the magnetic field of the solenoid inside, yes, according to magnetic, B is equal to mu naught into what? Ni divided by L, right? So what is N number of turns? What is I current? L is nothing but what? Length of the solenoid. So from this one we are taking, come to this one, a length of the solenoid becomes twice and fixed number of turns. Therefore the length is taken as 2L and then now N is taken as N. So the just substitute the value B, which is equal to mu naught Ni divided by 2L, because twice of length, no. So what will come here? What will come say here? What is cancel? Is there any values? See that if you are taking 1 by 2, what is remaining? Mu naught Ni divided by L. So that Ni divided by L is nothing but Bln, correct? That's why here 1 by 2, from this one we are taking 1 by 2 outside, remaining mu naught Ni divided by L. So that Nl divided by L, what will Nln? Yes, so that's for 1 by Bln. Okay. And the second one, both the length of the solenoid and the number of turns is doubled. Okay. For this question, you see this, length becomes twice and number of turns becomes what? Twice. So then the magnetic field is mu naught, turns also twice, therefore 2Ni, length also twice, therefore 2L. So what is cancel? 2 cancel. Okay. And what is remaining? Mu naught Ni divided by L. So that will be equal to mu naught, B into Ln. Yes, first equation, right? Okay. Second one, the number of turns becomes twice, but for the fixed length of solenoid, we are taking L is same and N is 2N. Okay. Then the magnetic field is, see this, mu naught 2Ni divided by L. If you are taking this 2 outside, what is remaining? Mu naught Ni divided by L. That is, which is equal to Bln. No. So finally 2 into Bln. So from the three results we are comparing, which is greater? The first one will be greater than others. Therefore, the strength of the magnetic field is increased when we pack more loops into the same length for a given current. So the current is same, and is increased is more loops. That means when we are increase the number of turns, magnetic field also increases for the particular current. Okay, understand? Yes. And for for understanding purpose, do you know here MR is magnetic resonance imaging, which helps the physicians to diagnose or monitor treatment for a variety of abnormal conditions happening within the head, chest, abdomen, and pelvis. Right? It is a non-invasive medical test. The patient is placed in a circular opening, and a large current is sent through the superconducting wire to produce a strong magnetic field. So it is used to more powerful magnet. So radio frequency pulses and a computer to produce a picture for organs, which help the physician to examine the various parts of the body. Okay, magnetic resonance imaging. If you go to the high facility hospitals, you will see MRI scan. Okay, that is magnetic resonance imaging, right? Next topic is toroid. What is toroid? See this. This is the picture of what? Toroid. And yes, this is a simple diagram for what? Toroid. Each loop. So each circles represent that turns, right? And this is also diagram for toroid. So if the small magnet surrounded by n number of copper coil, n number of copper coil, it is act as a toroid. Okay, so what is toroid? A solenoid is bent in such way its end are joined to form a closed ring shape is called a toroid. Yes, again I'm telling, a solenoid is bent in such way its end are joined to form a closed ring shape is called a toroid. Is called what? Toroid. Magnetic field has constant inside the toroid. Magnetic field has constant inside the toroid. Magnetic field is zero, open space interior to the toroid. Magnetic field is zero, open space exterior to the toroid. Yes, so the magnetic field is zero in open space, and magnetic field zero is both interior and exterior. The magnetic field inside the toroid B, which is equal to mu naught N I. N is the number of turn, I is the current. Yes. Now, magnetic field to the toroid. That means what? Solenoid. Magnetic field. Okay. Yes. See this? This one is nothing but what? Toroid. The green color lines are each turn. Okay, see this current entering and this current leaving. See this? B is equal to 0. Inside the solenoid, the magnetic field is 0. If you are consider outside the solenoid, B is equal to 0. But on this plane, the magnetic field is present. Okay, in this toroid, I am taking small element. That element is dl. Okay. If you go to this one, I'm going to find the magnetic field according to which one? Ampere's circuit law. Therefore, I am taking line integral B into dl, it's equal to mu naught into I naught. So here B into dl, the next step, B in dl, which is equal to line integral B into dl cos 0. Cos 0. Yes, so here on the plane, the cos angle will be 0, therefore cos 0. Cos 0 is equal to 1. Therefore, we are taking B outside and remaining line integral into dl. If I am integrating dl, I can get L. The L which is equal to what? Yes, 2 pi r. What is 2 pi r? Circumference of the coil. Circumference of what's a coil? Therefore, if B which is equal to B into 2 pi r. So this 2 pi r, yes, which is equal to mu naught I divided by 2 pi r into 2 pi r. So multiple and divide by 2 will get same equation. See that mu naught I divided by 2 pi r into n and divide into 2 pi r. So we'll cancel, we will get what? 2 pi cancel and r cancel, yes, and you will get mu naught I, yes, into n. This is the remaining. So magnetic field B is equal to mu naught into Ni. See that the magnetic field exists only in the S tubular area bounded by the coil, and it does not exist in the area inside the S and outside the toroid. The magnetic field is 0 at O and Q and non-zero at point P. Okay. Next, magnetic Lorentz force. Actually, the name of this scientist is Henrik Anton Lorentz. This is the picture of S. Lorentz. See that a magnetic Lorentz force. Yes, magnetic Lorentz force. What is magnetic Lorentz force? See the first one. When a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field experiences a force, which means that a moving charge in a magnetic field experiences force. Again, I'm telling, a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field experiences a force, which means that a moving charge in a magnetic field experiences a force. So that force Fm is magnetic Lorentz force. That's why here Fm, this is vector notation. Therefore Fm is equal to Q. Q is the charge and V is the velocity. That charge moving in a magnetic field. That's why here B. Okay. Now here also, or other, yes, other format, Fm is, that is force, magnetic force. That's why Fm is equal to QVB sine theta into n cap. Yes, n cap is what? Vector notation. Right. Now come to this one. So this is one is small plane. Here is a magnetic field. Yes, and this is current. The magnetic field and the force both are acting in which one? Perpendicular direction. It's very simple. When the charge moving in an uniform magnetic field, yes, moves with particular velocity, it experiences a force. That force acting in perpendicular direction to the, yes, magnetic field. Okay, and the theta angle between the, yes, magnetic field and the current. Yes, special cases for this one. First one, if the charge is at rest, the velocity will be 0. Then the force will be 0, because if you are substituting V is equal to 0 in this equation, 0 into anything will be 0. Therefore, there is no force. So, when the charge is at rest, there is no force. There is no magnetic Lorentz force, right? So, the stationary charge in a magnetic field does not experiences any forces. Okay. See the second point. Suppose the angle between the velocity of what? Charge and the magnetic field is 0 or 180 if the charge moving with parallel or anti-parallel to the direction of magnetic field. That time also the force will be 0, because parallel to magnetic field, if the charge moving parallel to magnetic field, the force will be 0. That time the motion will be parallel or anti-parallel. Okay. Now see the third case. Suppose if theta will be 90 degree, what will happen? That is perpendicular. If the charge moves perpendicular to the magnetic field, then the force is maximum. If you are substituting that sine S 90, that is equal to 1. Therefore, the force maximum. So, QVB into sine 90, that will be 0. So, sine 90, 1. Therefore, QVB into 1, QVB. Q is the charge and V is the velocity and B is the magnetic field, right? See that the Lorentz force law for another explanation for Lorentz force. See that consider an electron moving horizontal at constant speed between the two parallel plates as shown in the figure. See this one. The plates are oppositely charged and produce a uniform upwardly directed electric field in the region between the plates. See this electric field. So the trajectory of the electron, we are taking that F is what? Force, and E is electron, V is the velocity. Okay, now this side also Lorentz force, the same Lorentz force law. F is equal to QE. So why is here E is the electric force, plus QV, the same Q is charge, and V is what? Velocity, into, this is actually, this will be into B. So the force, which is nothing but sum of electric force and what? Magnetic force. That's why here QE plus QV into B. Okay, the electric force is straightforward, being the direction of electric field if the charge Q is positive. If the charge Q is positive. But the direction of magnetic part of the force is given by the which rule? Right hand rule. Which rule? Right hand rule. Okay. Next topic is force on moving charge in a magnetic field. Force on a moving charge, uniform magnetic field. So if the charge moving in an magnetic field, it experiences a force. That force is magnetic Lorentz force, right? Now see that when electric charge Q is moving with velocity V in a magnetic field B, it experiences a force is called as magnetic Lorentz force. After that is so many experimental verification. The Lorentz discussed force experienced by the moving charge in the magnetic field is Fm. Yes, the Fm is equal to Q into V into B. Yes, the magnitude. That's why magnitude Fm is equal to QVB into sine. Yes, because the force experienced in perpendicular direction to the magnetic field. No, that's why here the angle between, yes, that will be in sine 90. Perpendicular, that's why sine 90. Okay. Yes, again give for understanding purpose, this is the given points in our book. Fm is directly proportional to the magnetic field. The force is directly proportional to magnetic field. And second point, the force is directly proportional to the velocity. That's why V. And the force is directly proportional to sine of angle between the velocity and magnetic field. Velocity and magnetic field. And the force is directly proportional to the magnitude of the charge. And the direction of Fm is always perpendicular to the magnetic field and velocity. So therefore, Fm is a cross product of V into SB. That's why Fm, which is equal to Q into V into B. See this diagram? If you consider positive charge, the force perpendicular direction, and the B, this angle between these two is theta. If you are considering positive, the force like this downward direction, and the force is always perpendicular to velocity of the charge and the magnetic field. Okay, continuation. And the seventh point, the direction of force on negative charge is opposite to the direction of the force on positive charge provided by the other factors, right? Eighth point, if the velocity V of the charge Q is along the magnetic field, then the force will be 0. Then the force will be 0. Okay, and the unit, okay, unit is what's Tesla. Yes, see the definition of Tesla. The strength of the magnetic field is 1 Tesla if unit charge moving in it with the unit velocity experience a unit force. See this, 1 Tesla would be equal to 1 Newton, yes, and second divided by Coulomb is meter, because Coulomb is our charge. Okay, 1 unit charge, therefore is equal to 1 N, hence divide by, because Coulombs, okay, meter, will get A into M. So therefore 1 Newton ampere power minus 1 meter power minus 1 meter power minus 1, right? Okay. Based on that example problem 3.0, 3.0, right? When the particle of charge q moves with the velocity v along the positive y direction in the magnetic field B, and compute the S Lorentz force experienced by a particle when magnetic field is along positive y direction, right? And second one is when the magnetic field points in positive z direction, and C is when magnetic field is xy plane and making an angle theta with the velocity of particle. So mark the direction of magnetic force in each cases. Okay, so the velocity of the particle v, which is equal to v into j. J means any one axis. Okay, that is y axis. See the first case, the magnetic field is along positive y direction. So this simple that b, which is equal to v into j. Yes, the y axis, that's why here j cap. So here is at x, y. This is the charge moving in y axis. The magnetic field also parallel. So what is the Lorentz force? Fm is equal to q into v into j cap into b into j cap. That will be 0. I said no. The both are parallel. That will be 0. There is no force on the particle when it moves along the direction of magnetic field. When the magnetic field. Okay. And see the second case. The magnetic field in positive z direction. This impulse that b vector, which is equal to b into k cap. See the second one. The magnetic field points in positive z direction. This impulse b vector, which is equal to b into k, right? This one same. The charge moving in this direction, but magnetic field is which one? Perpendicular direction. So this time experience of force perpendicular to magnetic field. So this is the direction of force, magnetic Lorentz force. Therefore, Fm is equal to q into v j cap into b k cap. Because the magnetic field along z direction now, that's why k cap is equal to b q vb into I cap. Because j cap into k cap, you will get I cap. Okay. From this one, the magnitude of Lorentz force is qvb and the direction along which direction? X direction. Which direction? X directions. Okay. And see the last one. The magnetic field is in xy plane and making the angle theta with the velocity of the particle, which impulse b, which is equal to b cos theta j cap and b sin theta k cap. See this one. Between these two directions, if the charge moving velocity and in like this xy plane, the magnetic field is in x and z and y plane. The force in this one, that's why taking cos j. So this will be cos theta and this will be magnetic field in sin theta. So therefore magnetic Lorentz will be sum of both magnetic fields. Therefore Fm is equal to q v into j cap into b, the total magnetic field, sum of the both two component, cos component and sin component. Therefore b cos theta j cap plus b sin theta k cap. So what will get? So here what will get? B cos theta j cap will be 0. Therefore remaining qv is b sin theta which cap? I cap. The same way j cap into s j cap into k cap, you will get I cap. Okay. Yes, example 3.21. Compute the work done and prove power delivered by the Lorentz force on the particle of charge q moving with velocity v, and calculate the angle between Lorentz force and the velocity of the charge particle, and also yes, interpret the result. Okay, so calculating the magnetic Lorentz force. So with the charge particle moving in a magnetic field, the magnetic Lorentz force F is equal to Q, yes, V into B. So therefore the work done by the magnetic field is W is equal to line integral F into dr, F into dr, yes, which is equal to line integral F into V into D. So dr is nothing but V into velocity. Dr is the displacement. From this velocity equation, V is equal to dr divided by dt. So therefore if you are taking dr come to this side, you will get V into dt, right? Therefore W is equal to, yes, if you are substituting the F, Q into V into B. So if you are taking Q outside, V into B remaining, and V into dt is equal to 0. Since that velocity and magnetic field perpendicular to the, yes, velocity, that will be 0. That means the Lorentz force do not work on the particle, because from work kinetic energy theorem, yes, the power delivered by the, yes, particle, that will be 0, because W is equal to 0, power will be P is equal to 0, because power is nothing but work done by time, dW divided by dt. If W will be 0, the power will be 0. Okay. And next problem 3.22. An electron moving perpendicular to a uniform magnetic field 0.500 Tesla undergoes circular motion of radius 2.80 mm. What is the speed of the electron? What is speed of electron, right? We know the charge of electron Q is equal to minus 1.0 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Therefore, magnitude, if I am taking magnitude, I will get positive. Therefore, 1.60 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. And the magnitude of the magnetic field is given 0.500 Tesla, right? The mass of the electron, we know that m is equal to 9.11 into 10 power minus 11 kg. And the radius of the orbit, the radius is given now 2. Yes, the radius, actually there is a, yes, here printing mistake, 2.50. That's why here radius 2.500 mm. Millimeter is nothing but 10 power minus 3 meter. Therefore velocity, yes, velocity of electron V is equal to Q into R divided by M. So Q value and R value and B value divided by M value, if you simplify, you will get V, which is equal to 2.195 into 10 power 8 meter per second, because velocity unit is meter per second. Okay, so this velocity, okay, 2.195 into 10 power 8 meter per second. Okay, this is that velocity of electron moving in a circular path. Okay, and motion of a charged particle in an uniform magnetic field. Okay, see that motion of charged particle in an uniform magnetic field, it's very simple. If the charged particle moving in a circular, yes, orbit, it experiences a force, that is F is equal to QB. It also experiences centripetal force, that's why mv square by r, that r is equal to mv divided by qb. So therefore when the velocity of a charged particle is perpendicular to uniform magnetic field, the particle moves in a circular path in a plane perpendicular to B. Therefore it experiences the magnetic force acting on the charge is always directed towards the center of the coil, towards the center of the coil. It is a charged particle in a magnetic field in a circular path. Always the force experienced, the force is always acting, yes, inside the, which one, circle, yes, that means towards the center of the circle. At the same time it experiences centripetal force, that's why mb square by r. If you simplify this one, you will get r is equal to mb divided by qb. This is the radius, right? T is equal to 2 pi r. The time period is equal to circumference of the circle and the velocity of the, which one, charge particle. And T is equal to 2 pi r divided by bq. Yes, time period 2 pi r divided by b into q, magnetic field into charge. And yes, frequency is nothing but reciprocal of its time period, that are 1 by t. The frequency is of this particle f is equal to bq divided by 2em. If you are substituting t here, you will get this equation. And omega is equal to 2 pi f, angular velocity of the charged particle in the circular motion, 2 pi f. And omega is equal to bq divided by m. If you are substituting f value in this equation, you will get bqm. That is called as cyclotron frequency. Which frequency? Cyclotron frequency, or yes, gyro frequency. Which frequency? Gyro frequency. Right? Students, today class is over. Clear? Now I am going to give homework. The homework is 3 2 marks and 1 5 marks. Right? 3 questions are state Biot-Savart law, and what is magnetic permeability, and state Ampere-Circuital law. So these 3 questions are 2 mark question. And the final 7th one, find the magnetic induction due to a long state conductor using Ampere-Circuital law. So this will be 5 mark question. Okay, so this is your homework. Okay, so study these 4 questions and write the test. Okay, students. Okay, thank you. See you on next video.